Hi, I'm Tamasree Majumder, and I'm a current master student in Regulatory Affairs and Services program at St. Cloud State University. I'm currently working as a Regulatory Affairs intern at Pathmaker FDA Law in Minnesota. So, in my current internship position, I'm working on multiple exciting projects. So, I've worked on regulatory software or submission of softwares that can be used to detect cough, to distinguish if the individual is having COVID or not, assist my supervisor in developing these submissions and maintaining compliance with the different regulatory authorities so that people around us get safe and effective devices. My favorite thing to do is creating something artistic. It may be through painting or sculpting or watching movies. I like a curiosity from my very childhood. I had St. Bernard and I used to wonder what's inside his mouth, what's inside his body. So it's kind of, I was very curious from being a child, and I saw that thing increasing when I grew up. Apart from that, I love traveling. So I'm planning to travel to Grand Canyon probably in the next summer. So when I started my high school, I was in India. And since that time, I was very inquisitive. I loved physics and chemistry. These were my most loved subjects. In addition to that, I've seen my mother while I was growing up. She is a nurse, and I always wanted to know in the later part what happens to the drugs when it enters in your body. So after I completed my high school, I wanted to learn about drugs initially and how do they work when they go inside the body. So I started my college in India and completed my bachelor's in pharmacy. After that, I completed my master's in pharmacy because I didn't want to stop by just learning what happens to the drug when it goes inside the body, but I also wanted to learn how can I modify it. So after I completed my master's in pharmaceutics, I was involved in research and development of new drugs. I've worked on projects where I developed HPMC. HPMC, to break it down, is a polymer. And later I published my paper in the Journal of Pharmacy and Pharmacology. So after that, I started working in India as a drug safety specialist, where I used to work on the adverse drug event reports that came from different countries. So at that time, my grandmother suddenly suffered from a cardiac arrest, and later she was diagnosed with artery damage. The doctor advised her placing a stent in the heart. The implant was successful. But after release from hospital, I remember after a couple of days, she had a severe heart attack and she died of it. And later we came to know it was a device malfunction. In a country like India, with a population of more than a billion, reporting a death due to a malfunction was not in practice at that point of time. So you can say it was an aha moment for me. And during that time, I decided, how can I contribute in my capacity to make a difference in bringing safe and effective devices to these countries? And that is when I decided to pursue my master's program here in St. Cloud. After coming to St. Cloud, I learned a lot about medical devices, and I could utilize my skills that I gained in my high school, like analytical skills, problem solving skills. So I found regulatory interesting because it led me to utilize those skills. So one of the moments aside from the device malfunction was when I worked in Cognizant after my master's. People kind of ignore any kind of symptoms when they take a drug. For example, some people had a rash, but they think that it is something going on in their body and not related with the drugs. At that time, I realized that if I get to know what is the root cause of this problem, and if I get to get involved with manufacturing companies where which is the center from which the awareness are generally spread, I can help people to know what to report, when to report. And this was kind of an enlightening moment for me. So as a regulatory affairs intern, I begin my day reading, writing, and organizing documents, specifically guidance documents published by FDA or European regulatory authority. So I typically collect and review this marketing, legal, or regulatory and licensing documents. So that's why uh, university trained students to become detail focused and skilled in sifting through industry jargons to find relevant information and evidence. Then I use the data that have accumulated to compose evidence-based and convincing regulatory application. Often I assist my supervisor to submit this to regulatory agencies for product approval. Other than these, I communicate to the health agencies to confirm the analysis that is made by me is accurate. Sometimes after identifying and composing relevant documents, I work individually or with a team, cross-functional team, to coordinate regulatory projects of various sizes and scope. When working on these projects, I'm required to develop a standard operating procedure for company executives or other partners. This helps in relaying regulatory information to those who are not in the loop. So what I do is I develop regulatory strategies and identify the degree of alignment with these products with the guidance issued by CDC or NIOSH. And after that, I provide them with the document containing all the relevant tests that they should do. The investigation of the analysis as a regulatory affair intern that I do is I check if the material or the component or the device that is going for the regulatory submission is ISO certified, or it is NIOSH certified, or it has all the regulations, it has checked all the regulation as placed by CDC. And I make sure that this manufacturing companies has run the test, and I go through the data and I verify that those data are within the range as prescribed by this regulatory authority. For example, I also have probably bought some mask from a gas station, and you will see it's written FDA approved. It is wrong on so many levels because FDA doesn't approve masks. So these are what should I say, fraudulent, and this mask doesn't help to prevent COVID. Rather, people who are relying on this mask are became susceptible to it. So I'm trying to align so that the manufacturing companies, those manufacturing companies who reach us, actually to guide them what are the tests they should follow, what are the material they should use at least to protect these people. So along with regulatory, the clinical and the quality group work simultaneously. So the quality group of people, they know what are the quality standards that this device should be in compliance with. Have meetings on a regular basis with this clinical group as well to know what are the testing are required, because these will be used by humans. I get in touch with the quality and the clinical people to know what are the requirements from these two teams, and I try to put them in order so that the quality standards, the clinical standards, and the regulatory standards are all bound together to make a successful submission. So I have team members who are from the engineering department. I have team members who are biostatisticians. So they all come together. For regulatory, it's a combination of analytical problem solving, critical thinking, and communication skill. These are of utmost importance. So what I utilized since my high school days is get the feedback from your mentors, from your teachers, from your friends, because these are best to understand what are the skills or your strengths. What I think is you should, if you are in love with science, just utilize your skill and follow your passion.